if you're one of those people that criticizes other creatives, good morning and welcome in or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer, and today we're gonna be tackling a little bit of crochet drama I've been seeing floating around. First things first, I do want to address that this isn't the video that I wanted to post this week. However, I decided Thursday night to go ahead and injure my wrist, and we're still trying to figure out what has happened, treatment options, stuff like that. It's looking like at least for a couple weeks I've got to rest and not use this too much. So we'll see how that goes. I'm still doing just a little bit of crochet here and there, just until my wrist really starts to hurt because I love crochet. And that kind of leads into the topic of today and why I love crochet so much. And the fact that a lot of people are clapping back because they feel that too many people are crocheting these days. So this topic was actually introduced to me by another creator. She had brought up that other creators are saying that the market is too saturated and it's too hard to sell, her crochet goods these days because, there's too many people out there selling their crochet goods. I I completely disagree with this. I think that many people are out there creating crochet for their own consumption. I don't think that they are doing it to necessarily sell their wares. They may be selling to like their friends and family or giving to their friends and family, and in turn, that is creating less of a need for people to buy crochet. I also think that because unfortunately a lot of companies are producing it much cheaper, people are very stretched for money. It is creating an environment where people will buy the cheaper product versus buying the, actual handmade crochet item. But that aside, that is not my intention with this video. I want to talk about the reasonings as to why I think it's a great thing that more people are crocheting and knitting and getting more in touch with textile art forms. So, my first thought is that it's very accessible to a lot of people. There's so many places you can get yarn. There are tons of places you can get crochet hooks. There's tons of places that you can access tutorials or the information needed to create these works. Or you can even, like, once you get to a certain point, you can start creating out of your own brain. And I also think it's very accessible for people who are not able to, like, their mobility is limited, in terms of, like, I've seen a lot of people really stress how we need to turn exercising into a hobby. I, for one, like, I have accessibility limitations, so exercising is not going to ever be a hobby for me, nor is things like skiing or tennis or anything, inertly physical is not going to be an option for me. However, with crochet, like, you can get a walking pad and you can walk while you're crocheting, or you can even take your crochet on the go and you can walk around the block, or you can go sit in the park and enjoy the outdoor weather. And that, to me, like, I would much rather people be doing whatever is accessible to them and affordable to them to create. Because let's face it, like, crochet and knitting is one of the most affordable ways that people can create. You can pick up skeins of yarn for $3, $4, and crochet hooks are always at the thrift stores or on Facebook Marketplace. You can even get them from your grandmother or your mother if they crochet or knit. So it is very, very affordable in terms of entry versus if, say, you wanted to paint, there's going to be the expense of buying canvas, buying the paints, buying the brushes, because a lot of times used paints and used brushes are not as good quality to start out with, somebody just learning how to paint. So we have to think in terms of accessibility, how that's going to impact people in terms of them wanting to do more analog creative outlets. And another factor too is weather, because a lot of us are dealing with a lot of heat waves. Here yesterday was 103 degrees in Colorado. I personally am very heat sensitive, so being outside and having outdoor hobbies is not a thing I can do. So having something that will keep you indoors where the heat is more regulated and that will keep you off your phone so you're not constantly plugged into something digital, that is huge, and the same goes for wintertime when there's, 4 feet of snow outside and we're not going anywhere. You can grab your yarn and your crochet hook and have a book and just sit there and be creative and productive still. And in terms of it being an analog hobby, I've also seen a lot of pop-up groups of crocheters and knitters, and there's a lot of events that are forming here in the Denver metro, northern Colorado area, and people are getting together and sharing the joy of creating and sharing tips and tricks with each other and building that community and really connecting in different ways. And also too, if you are wanting to learn to crochet and your grandmother learned how to crochet, that is forming a wonderful bond between you and your grandmother as well, because she is passing on techniques, and that is a wonderful thing as well. I really am so, so pleased to see community building in that way. And it really hurts my heart when people go out of their way to make people not feel included in that community, because it is such a wonderful space to be able to enjoy what you do and to share that with other people, that joy that you feel. So if you're one of those people that is criticizing other creators for what they're trying to do, like even if they're not trying to sell, they're just creating things, and you're coming in their comment section and being like, this is why it's so oversaturated, is because everybody wants to be a crocheter now. Stop. Stop that. Like, seriously, just let people be creative. Like, we as human beings need creative outlets. And that speaks into the psychological side of it as well, because I got into crocheting for my mental health, specifically for my mental health, because I did research into how to improve my depression and my anxiety. And one thing that I kept circling back to was crocheting or knitting. And I picked up crocheting, and from the minute it clicked in my brain and I got it, and it just was magical. It was absolutely magical how much it changed my brain chemistry. And I'm not going to deny, I am literally addicted to crocheting. Like, to be able to sit there with my hands and it's stimming, but it's also creating, and I can like use that creative outlet as a way to bring my anxiety levels down, to focus on doing something productive and creating something useful and putting something good into the world. And it keeps me from being chronically on my phone, chronically overwhelmed, chronically just having things come at me 24/7, just overwhelmed, I can just put on an audiobook, sit with my crochet, and just let go for a little while. And that in this day and age is so, so, so important for us to be able to disconnect and reconnect with ourselves and with our creative souls, because every single one of us has creativity inside of us. I 100% believe that we are all inherently creative in some way or another. And it is so, so good for your brain to be able to disconnect and just live in the moment of just you and the yarn and your hook and just vibe. And I know it sounds kooky. I know it sounds off the wall, but it is, and all crocheters, all knitters know that feeling. And why would you deny somebody else that feeling? Why would you try to keep someone from experiencing that? It does not make any sense to me whatsoever why you wouldn't want somebody else to enjoy that. And while I know this does seem hypocritical of me to come on here and tell other creatives to stop doing something, which is criticizing others, I get that it's hypocritical. I think it needs to be said. We are meant to be a community of creatives who come together and share in the joy and pass on the knowledge. I mean, crochet and knitting has been around for centuries. And it's so important for us to continue to pass these traditions down, to pass this knowledge down, and the joy of doing this work. That even though, yes, we have machines that can knit, it's never going to replace the joy of finishing a project yourself and trying to keep somebody and keep that from somebody is just not right, in my opinion. It shouldn't be happening, and if it takes someone from the community to speak out against this and say, "Hey, enough is enough, just relax," then so be it. I will take the heat for it. Like, go off in the comment section about how you think I'm a horrible person for telling you this, but it's what I believe. I think that the more people that crochet and knit, the better, because that is going to grow our community. It's going to help with mental health, and it's going to bring about so much more creativity in our community and newer techniques. And I've just seen people create so many amazing things combining different textile arts, taking, I've seen somebody bead like this the center part of a granny square, and then they will add crochet around it and create like bags and stuff, and that's so freaking genius. And I love watching people take it to the next level and create something new and something more. And I also think it's so, so rewarding to be able to, make your own bag or make your own crochet top, and you get to say, "Hey, I created this." Somebody compliments it out in public and be like, "I made this." Like, that is such a good feeling too. All that being said, I really hope that this video has inspired you to open your hearts, open your minds to bringing others in and sharing that knowledge and that joy with them. Or if you're a new crocheter, I truly hope this has inspired you to continue on your journey and come join our community, because we would absolutely love to have you here. And if you guys have any questions at all about crocheting, if you want to see, video addressing something, please let me know. I am more than happy to share the knowledge that I have. And I truly, truly hope that you've enjoyed hanging out with me today. If you have, please go ahead and hit that like button for me and the subscribe if you don't mind. It truly, truly does help my channel and share the message with as many people as possible. And hopefully next week I can get back to my normal vibe, my normal routine of crocheting and finishing my whips, because I really want to do my drop on the 16th. So hopefully I won't have to delay that. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Wishing you all the best. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.